Welcome to the Auditor Estate Uniform Accounting Network screencast for creating and managing users in UAN. In this screencast, we will cover how to add, edit, reset passwords, activate, deactivate, delete, and display user accounts. To navigate to the Users area, select the General module, the Maintenance menu option, and then the Users function. The Users area will open to the right, listing all active users in UAN. The actions available in this area are Add, Edit, Reset Password, Activate, Deactivate, Delete, and Display. The Close button closes the Users area. A user is a person who has been granted access to the UAN system. Only users assigned to the administrator role, usually the fiscal officer, can add or maintain users. The administrator role must be assigned to the first user added to UAN, and at least one administrator user must be active at all times. To create a new user, click the Add button. A blank Add Users form will open, displaying two sections and buttons. They are the User section, the Clearances section, the Save button, and the Close button. As usual, required fields are in green, optional fields are white, and read-only fields are the same color as the background. First, we're going to enter the username of the new user. This username should be in consistent format and easy to associate with the user, such as T Suter for Tyler Suter, which is me. You're limited to 20 characters. So for my username, I'm just going to use T Suter. Next, select the role appropriate to the user in the Role drop-down menu. Click on the Role drop-down and type in all or part of the required role name for UAN to offer a list of suggested roles. As you can see, Administrator and Power User are available from the drop-down as well. Other options depend on what roles are set up in the Roles section. You'll want to watch the Roles screencast to get information on adding and managing roles on that section. We're going to select the role of Power User for T Suter. Next, you can select and set the role to active or inactive using the active and inactive radio buttons. The default's always going to be active. Next, we'll check all security clearances appropriate to the new user. If your user is an administrator or power user, both boxes will be checked and unavailable for editing. The security clearance checkbox, if checked, allows users to view social security numbers and bank account information. The compliance clearance checkbox, if checked, allows users to override compliance rules. This setting only applies if compliance controls in the entity setup are deactivated or set to only issue warnings. Review your work. If everything is accurate, click the Save button to save your work. If you click the Close button without saving your work, UAN will prompt you with a message asking if you want to save the user. Click Yes to save and close the form, No to close the form without saving, or Cancel to continue working. I'll click Cancel. If you save the user, UAN will display a system message that states the user has been created, displays the user's password, which is UAN, all lowercase, and states that the password will expire when the new user first logs in. Click OK to close the message. Additionally, UAN will display a message in the lower left-hand part of the form stating the name of the user it has saved, and clear the form to allow you to add more users. Click the Close button when you are done creating users. To edit users, select the checkboxes of the users you wish to edit, and then click the Edit button. So we are going to edit T Suter. The Edit User form will open displaying the users you selected. The sections and functions displayed are identical to those introduced at the beginning of the Adding Users chapter. While you may not change the name of the user, you may change their role, the active-inactive radio buttons, or their clearance. Again, if you select Administrator or Power User as their roles, the clearance checkboxes will automatically be filled in and will not be editable. You may scroll between users using the navigation arrows at the bottom left of the screen. The total number of users selected will be displayed in a format similar to the one displayed here. If you have edited anything on the current page before navigating to another page, UAM will prompt you to save your work. Now I'm just going to change my role to Administrator and make an edit so I can show you what happens when you click the Close button without saving your work. You'll get the system message that asks if you want to save changes. Click Yes to save and close the form, No to close the form without saving, or Cancel to continue working. I'll click Cancel. If you save the changes for that user, UAM will display a message in the lower left-hand part of the form stating that the name of the user it is updated and advance you to the next user if you're editing multiple users. Click the Close button after you save your work to close the form. To reset users' passwords, select the users whose passwords you wish to reset and click the Reset Password button. UAM will prompt you with a message asking if you really want to reset their passwords. Click OK to reset their passwords, or Cancel to avoid resetting. If you click OK, UAM will display a message stating that the passwords have been reset to UAN, all lowercase. Click OK to close that message. UAM will also display a message in the lower left-hand part of the screen stating how many users' passwords have been reset. These passwords will need to be changed by the user after the first login. To deactivate active users, you may need to set the status filter in the upper left-hand part of the users area to all or active to see active users, which it is default on active. Once you've set the filter, select the desired users and then click the Deactivate button. So I'm going to deactivate T-Suiter. UAM will switch the selected user statuses from active to inactive and display a confirmation message in the lower left-hand part of the users area stating how many items it has deactivated. The deactivated users will no longer appear in the active filter. Note that setting users to inactive puts their user accounts on hold and removes them from the display area when the filter is set to active. The users are still present in UAN and may easily be reactivated. To reactivate inactive users, you may need to set the status filter in the upper left-hand part of the users area to all or inactive to see inactive users. So we'll just select inactive. Once you've set the filter, select the desired users and then click the Activate button. So we're going to reactivate T-Suiter. UAM will switch the selected user statuses from inactive to active and display a confirmation message in the lower left-hand part of the users area stating how many items it has activated. The activated users will no longer appear in the inactive filter. So we can change our status back to all or active, which is default, and you can see that T-Suiter has been reactivated. To delete users, select the status filter drop-down menu and set it to deletable. Next, select the desired users and click the delete button. So we're going to delete T-Suiter completely out. You'll get the system message that prompts you that if you want to delete the one selected item, click OK to delete the selected users, or Cancel to avoid deleting anything. We'll click OK. UAM will display a message in the lower left-hand corner of the users area stating how many users were deleted. Note that the administrator and power users cannot be deleted. You are done deleting selected users. I'm just going to select this back to active. To display users, click on the checkboxes to the left of the users you want to look at and click the Display button. The Display Users form will appear using the users you selected for display. If you selected multiple items to display, you may scroll between them using the navigation arrows at the bottom left of the form. Click the Close button when you are finished viewing the selected records. In conclusion, the Users function allows you to delegate tasks safely to individuals who need access to UAN. While not often used, it is critical for controlling UAN's usage and security. The key points you'll want to remember for creating and managing users: the administrator role must be assigned to the first user added to the system, and at least one administrator user must be active at all times. Clearance levels are automatically assigned to administrator and power user roles. The password for new users is UAN, all lowercase. New users will be asked to change their passwords during their initial login. See the Roles screencast for creating and managing roles in UAN. Thank you for using this screencast on creating and managing users in UAN. For further information, you may contact the UAN support line at 800-833-8261 or by email at uan_support@auditor.state.oh.us.